Okay, class, today we are going to be learning how to make a wet mount slide. And a slide is a thin glass that we place the specimen on in order to view it under a microscope. And so this is what a slide looks like. It's glass and it's clear, and in the center is where we put the specimen. And remember, the specimen is the object that we're trying to look at underneath the microscope. Let's go ahead and begin our T-notes. A specimen is an organism that you are observing under the microscope. The specimen must be thin for light to pass through. Here are some examples of some specimens that are being viewed underneath the microscope. Here we have algae, and you can actually see all the chloroplasts that are inside. They're so beautiful. And then over here we have some pollen from a pine, and they look like this. And over here we have some roots of a plant, and we have mitosis, which might look familiar to us. These are all very thin specimens that are placed on slides so that we can view them on the microscope. A prepared slide is a specimen that has been stored and it is preserved onto a slide. Here are some examples of slides that companies have made and sell, and they are preserved specimens. So you can use them over and over again. This is a little bit blurry, but here are some prepared specimens, and the specimen is always in the center of the slide. And here you can see that this is rabbit hair that would be in here, cow hair, canary feather, just to give you an idea of the different kind of slides that can exist. Now, a wet mount slide is a specimen that is placed onto a thin piece of glass called the slide that we view under the microscope. The difference is we do not purchase these from a company. We make these in the lab, so these are more fresh. For example, maybe we want to view how our hair looks underneath the slide. So we would need to use our hair. We wouldn't buy that from a company. We would need to take our hair, put it onto a slide so that we can view it under the microscope. This is when you would want to make your own slide. In order to make your own wet mount slide, there are a few steps. It's very simple, and you're going to get to practice this in class. The first step is to get a clean, dry slide. So you're going to get a slide that is clean and that is dry. The second thing is that you're going to place a small, thin piece of specimen, and the specimen is located here, and you're going to put that into the center of the slide. Then you are going to take a water dropper, and you're going to drop 1 to 2 drops of water over the specimen. Then you slide a cover slip, and a cover slip is just a very thin piece of either plastic or glass. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this cover slip and you're going to put it at an angle on one side of the slide, and then you're going to move it over until the water catches on the edge, and then you're going to release the cover slip, and then the slide will be on top of the specimen. Now, the reason why you want to make sure that we put the cover slip at an angle is that you want to make sure that you have the fewest amount of bubbles with your specimen, because if you have air bubbles, you will either be viewing the air bubble under the microscope, which is not what you want to see. You want to actually be able to view the specimen, or it will actually make you unable to get a really good magnified view of your specimen. So you might have to actually take the cover slip back off and put it back on if you see too many bubbles. After you're finished putting the cover slip onto the specimen, then you want to use a paper towel, and sometimes there's water that is on the slide from excess water, and so you'll just want to use a paper towel to clean some of that up, because you don't want too much water all over the slide. If you put the slide onto the microscope and there's water everywhere, you might mess up the microscope. Okay, so we've made it to the end of our T-notes. Have this information ready to use in class, understand the instructions, and thanks for watching.